Time for your questions and some honest answers. Pat, this first one comes from a viewer who says, how do you know if you've truly forgiven someone? I had 3 abusive marriages and friends who've stabbed me in the back. I forgave them and said to myself, God's will be done for them, then try to go on with my life. However, every time one of these events comes to mind, I feel terrible about myself, thinking the world must hate me. I thank God every day for the blessings I have and for others. Do hurt feelings mean I didn't really forgive those people? How can I truly forgive?
Well, the way you forgive, you've got to die to yourself. As long as, Paul said, I'm crucified with Christ, and nevertheless I live. And the life that I now live, I live by the faith of the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. We've got to die to ourselves. As long as you're alive, it's that old man that'll get hurt. And the old man's got to die. A new man comes alive in the image of God. And so you remember, if they did it to Jesus, and when he's on the cross, he said, Father, forgive them. They don't know what to do. I mean, they whipped him. They beat him. They pulled his beard. They spit on him. They mocked him. They made fun of him. If you're the Son of God, come down off the cross. You're supposed to be the head of Israel. If you're such a big shot, show us, and we'll believe in you. And despite all that abuse, he said, Father, forgive them, because he was dead to self and alive to God. That's the only way you can do what you're asking for, all right?
Okay, this next one is also about forgiveness. She says, this is a viewer who says, I do home Bible studies. There is a woman who accused my husband of grabbing her inappropriately 2 years ago. Then, when she came to my house that day, she admitted she was under the influence of marijuana and later confessed to me that the allegations were not true. Now that she's back at the Bible study, her boyfriend, also a family member of mine, is always getting mad at her if he hears my husband is around her. My husband avoids the Bible studies. I'm not sure what to do. Some scripture says rebuke and call it out. Others say do not judge and forgive.
I think in that case you need to rebuke it. It's like a spirit that woman's got a problem. She's using marijuana. She's on drugs. She's high on something. And these accusations are outrageous. So I think it wouldn't hurt if you, call it out. Again, it's the question of what's in your mind. Do you hate her when you call it out? Are you trying to get revenge? Or are you just trying to get the record straight? When they accused Jesus, he didn't open his mouth. Like a lamb before his shearers is dumb, he neither opened his mouth. He didn't, and Pilate said, aren't you going to answer any of these charges? And he said, don't you realize that you'd have no power unless it was given you from on high? That's the only thing I can tell you. Die. Okay.
This is Tom who says, do you feel this is an acceptable belief, the idea that there may be a heaven, but that souls are reincarnated here on earth to learn?
Reincarnation, the so-called metempsychosis, is a Hindu belief. It is not biblical. It is not scriptural at all. In that we die once. There's one time we die, and after that, the judgment. There is no intermediate time. There's not any coming back and wheel of judgment and all that. That is strictly Hindu, and it's not Christian.